If you were a zebra among a bunch of antelopes, you would stand out from the group. If you were a zebra among a bunch of zebras, you would not stand out. Sometimes it feels good to be a zebra among antelopes. In real life, zebras and antelopes hang out all the time. Zebras also like to hang out with buffalo, wildebeest, and giraffes. Sometimes it's easier to be a zebra among zebras, but you need to make sure the herd is moving in a direction you want to go. In this week's episode, I talk about peer pressure, peer influence, and finding a group that's right for you. Hi there, I'm Dr. Eileen Kennedy Moore, also known as Dr. Friendtastic. I'm an author and clinical psychologist based in Princeton, New Jersey. Each week on the Kids Ask Dr. Friendtastic podcast, I answer a question from a kid about making and keeping friends. If you have a question you'd like me to answer, you can send it in at drfriendtastic.com/submit. That's drfriendtastic.com/submit. I'm off for the holiday weekend, but I thought you might like to hear a re-release of an older episode. Here's a question from episode 67.
Hi, my name is Paul. I'm 12 years old. How do I find the right friends to surround myself with?
Hi, Paul. What a great question. Your question shows that you understand that our friends influence us, so it's important to make wise choices about who we hang out with. Adults often warn kids about peer pressure. But if someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to do, that's annoying. So it's likely to make you even more determined not to do whatever that is. Peer influence is more common and more impactful than peer pressure. Peer influence has to do with all the subtle and sometimes indirect ways our friends can nudge us about what we do. For example, because we like our friends, we may want to be like them. So one way our friends can influence us is leading by example. If they wear a certain brand of sneakers, or have a certain hairstyle, or play a certain sport, we may want to do the same. Doing the same thing our friends do can sometimes make us feel closer to them, and no one likes to feel left out. So copying friends isn't necessarily a bad thing. Another way friends influence us is by their approval or disapproval. Because we care about our friends, their opinions matter to us. For instance, if you do something and your friends say, "That's cool," that could make you want to do it more. On the other hand, if your friends laugh and say, "That's dorky," well, that could make you not want to continue doing it. Peer influence can be positive or negative. Friends might encourage you to study hard or to get in trouble. So, getting back to your question, how do you find the right friends to surround yourself with? You want to choose friends who make good choices and who encourage you to do good things. You're likely to meet those kids doing things that matter to you. It might help to ask yourself some questions. First, how do you feel when you're with them? With good friends, you mostly feel comfortable, happy, and supported. If you often feel criticized or put down, that's likely not a good group for you to spend time with. Second, how do the adults who care about you feel about these friends? If your parents, teachers, and other adults have concerns about these friends, it would be a good idea to listen and think about what they're saying. Third, do you like who you are when you're with them? This question has to do with your values, which are your beliefs about what is right or wrong, and the things in life you think are most important. For instance, if you value kindness, You wouldn't want to hang out with a group of kids who tease or bully younger kids, because you might accidentally end up doing that. If you care about honesty, try to be in groups where you can be yourself and feel accepted. A speaker named Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." He just made up the number 5, and research shows that we're influenced not only by our friends, but also the friends of our friends, and even the friends of our friends' friends. But it makes sense to choose to spend time with friends who bring out the best in us. It's also important to keep in mind that however your friends might influence or even pressure you, you're in charge of deciding what's the right thing for you to do. This has been Kids Ask Dr. Friendtastic. You can learn even more about friendship through my funny and practical books for kids, Growing Friendships, A Kid's Guide to Making and Keeping Friends, and Growing Feelings, A Kid's Guide to Dealing with Emotions about friends and other kids. They're available through your library or wherever you buy books. Parents, check out my online workshops at workshops.eileenkennedymore.com.